Hey everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, daughter. How about yourself?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking and welcome everyone back to our show, our Tuesday night
Welcome.
show
Welcome.
from
So,
the pulpit to the hood table.
daughter, I got to apologize to our lovely audience. It was my
Oh,
fault. She messaged me earlier uh, to do it since I'm up and rolling. We could do it, even though we like to do it from the church, but on the winter times we could do it from our homes.
mhm.
And uh, and I didn't have my laptop with me, so I was down at the church waiting. And good thing she sent me the link. I was like, oh, I was waiting on her to come down to the church. But nevertheless, we are here and excited.
Yes, we are excited. Nevertheless, we are better late than never. Okay.
Yes, we are
Yes,
excited.
so I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope everybody is looking forward to Christmas and has been spending time with their family and friends and have been being
Yes.
safe. So, our show tonight, as usual, we discuss various topics from church, from the pulpit to the hood and beyond,
You
like the
know it.
title says. And a lot sometimes we also do a little bit on trending news and things like that. Now I'm gonna have to be honest. It's been a long week last week, so I haven't really been all up in the trending news or anything like that. So when it comes to that section of the show, if there's anything that you can think of off the top of your head or you didn't see, then you can freely talk about that. But hey, everybody in the chat. Hey, First Lady, Latanya Rollerson, New Panther Bros. Hey, how's you doing? Make sure everybody like and share the video. Please make sure you like and share the
Yes.
video. Yes, like and share the video. So what we're gonna start off with today. I know last few shows we've been discussing why not
Why not
church.
church? That's right.
Right.
Why not church?
And then on our last show, you kind of wanted to shift it a little bit
Oh yes.
and speak about some of the things that's going on in the community, including like men being present, um, more present in the community or in the church. So I want to start off that route. And if you could just like talk a little bit about some of the things that's been going on in our community that you've seen that
Right.
you want to speak on.
Yep. Tonight, like I said from the last episode we had, daughter want to speak on about the church's role for the violence in our
Mm-hmm.
community.
Mm-hmm.
In our community, and for long enough that we have closed a blinded eye to the fact that where most of our local churches are at,
Mm-hmm.
the violence, the percentage of violence that's that is distributed amongst our very own people, and
Mm-hmm.
how the church's role, we have to do it differently. We have to do better than what we have been doing. Especially in the times that we're living in now, daughter. And it used to be the times where uh, people was coming to church. They would come to church.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have to go out and get anybody. They was coming to church. Even if you just go look further in the '60s, with the civil rights movement, and how the churches had a gigantic role in that. And it seemed like as further as we got from that, daughter, uh, the less the role of the church played in our local neighborhoods, in our local communities, not even just on the streets, but even in the schools, even in the homes. When I was growing up, you had your deacons and your mothers, and they would make sure that even the people that was attending the church, a single mother or whatever, they would not let that family lack anything. They would go in and put their nose to the grind, and begin to help. And as you've seen, as the years started to add up, less a role that the church started playing in that role. And as you see that the violence has just exploded,
Mm-hmm.
and the church needs to go back to that critical role that we used to play in the
Mm-hmm.
neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. Right. I agree. I absolutely agree. I remember a time when, and hi, oh, New Panther Bro, she said that this is Pastor Mary Peters. She's using her grandkids' YouTube, I think, and their YouTube is called New Panther Bros. So she just wanted you to know that
Okay.
this is
Hey, hey.
Mary. But yes, I do recall even back in the day, like for instance, we just had so many more role models, and right now it seems like our role models are literally if they don't have any in the family, because some people do, but if they don't have any in the family,
Right.
they're usually like the coaches or teachers, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But I do recall a time when role models was also the pastors and the deacons and
Yes.
men of the church.
Yes.
And if your child was a boy, had nothing to do, getting in trouble, doing bad in school, they would swing by your crib and pick you up. They would pick up your child and take them under their wings. So that was
Yes.
like one of the role models that I remember. And that was just one way, part of like the outreach program per se, I guess you would call it, where they would look after teens who
Right.
had issues at home. So I would love to see that come back as well,
Right.
like more preachers and deacons, when they see or hear about a child having issues at home, take them under their wing.
Yes.
They got the big brothers, they got the coaches, but I would like to see more men from the church also
That's right.
being those role models and stuff, not just to the role models, in their own family per se. But yeah, what you
And
said.
you know,
Hey Tracy.
yes. Hey, what's up, Tracy Redford? How are you?
Yes, we have a
Yes,
lot of people in the chat. But go ahead, go ahead.
hey man, and that role, no, and that role, it needs to change.
Hmm.
It needs to change because the way we doing it now is just not. It's just not. It's not getting. It's not relevant to the times.
Hmm.
It's not. Yes, we're open on Sundays. Yes, we're open on Wednesday evenings for Bible study or something. But that's it.
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
are we doing in the community? And seeing we're better together. And until we come together, daughter, we won't be able to make a dent. My little, somebody else's little. But if you bring everybody together, we can turn around even our very own neighborhoods right
Hmm.
here in Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, just look at our schools. This year has been, hey, Paris Scott, how are you? This year has just been crazy. I've heard that violence has been just erupting in the elementary schools, fourth and fifth
Yes.
graders,
Hmm.
fighting and hitting teachers and all that. And I'm like, as the church, we got to make a stand. We got to
Hmm.
make a stand. And people are looking for the church. That's one of the, one of the things that, people say all the time, well, where is the church? Well, it's hard to see the church if you only got a little spectacles here and a little spectacles here that is doing their things. But if we would all come together in a movement, we could just like our various community activists. I
Hmm.
know a lot of them, and but if we come together, we have barriers. You do your little, I do my little. No, if we bring that together, we can make further advances in the community. If we come
Hmm.
together,
I agree. I agree. And when it do come to the churches, they are. I know I seen somebody the other day. I can't remember whose show it was on Facebook, but it was somebody in the community, and they did a Facebook Live, and they were discussing how all these different community organizations, just kind of like what you were saying, one is doing this, one is doing that, one is doing that, but if we are so much stronger together. And I just feel like if it was like certain many churches, like if we had a family of churches, um, a brotherhood, a sisterhood of churches that could come together and we all focus on the same thing and how to help each other out and share ideas and then get
right,
some of the kids together in our because every church, the children, they're just not popping up everywhere. Most of the children who are
Right?
out here, excuse me, doing things that they shouldn't be doing, they have somebody in their family who belongs to a church, whether it's their
That's right.
grandpa, uncle,
Come
auntie,
on.
mother, so these people in the church, they should feel like it's okay to come to us and say, could you please come to my house? Could you please have a meeting with my child? What can I do? I'm at my wits,
That's
I'm up
right.
to my neck. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And again, the mentors out there that they do have, coaches and staff at schools, that's really great, because my sons use the same outreach programs in school. They had some great mentors from Troy.
Right.
Rest in peace, Troy from Benson. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
I
he was
just
a
spoke to
great
his brother
mentor.
tonight.
Yes, he was a great mentor to a lot of kids in our inner city. Yeah, people like those, they're really great. But I would love again to see the churches having some type of, and not just when the need is there, but on the regular basis. Like a Bible study. We have
Something
that
that
on
is
a regular
ongoing,
basis. Like once a month,
something that's sustainable.
something, like that. And maybe children will come and once a month with their family or come by themselves, but we also have to make it where they want to come. We have to make it
And
where they
I can
want to come.
and I can share this, daughter, and I won't use their names. I opened our church up. It was to this group
Hmm.
of young ladies, and I mean, it started off good. They were doing trying to get prison reforms, trying to help people that's coming out of prison. I clung on to them, but I told them, and I don't care what you do. I said, without God, what happened? What happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. New Sister Mary, she said she can look at her church,
Oh, hold on.
Omaha Church every Sunday.
I don't know what that part. Hold on.
Did it
Hold
freeze
on.
up?
Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened. But yes, I have. Amen. She sure does. Hey, she's faithful on there, on watching and her giving.
Mhm.
Amen. God bless you. But
Yes.
I had this group of ladies, and they were so excited. But I told them, without God being your basis, it'll fail. And I said,
Right.
until y'all give God some of y'all time, and
Mhm.
Jesus has to be the center, I said it will fail. Not shortly did it fall. They had good ideals. They had good, but I'm a preacher for the Lord. I told them I got to offer y'all Christ. That is
Right.
the only way. I said, y'all have him. I said, God will bless y'all endeavors. They didn't
Mhm.
have him. Soon, daughter, it just blew up. It just blew
Yep.
up. And now they're I don't know what they're doing. I tried to reach out to them, but to no avail. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying, and they had excellent ideals. And I opened my church up for things like that. For things
Mhm.
like that. You got some good ideals and you want to come in and work and help the community. That's what we are here for.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah,
Latanya Rollerson, she said, yes, we all have to work together to get the streets in the world to be better. Better.
yes, we got to be that example. Got to be that example.
Yep, yep. And I do feel that it starts at church. It really does. And I would as far as the youth programs go, we are lacking those. And that's why I think that we need to really step up in the churches as well too, because I mean, from the Wesley House, all the different programs that we used to have back in the day, the Sal,
Yeah.
um, the boxing club, we had so many different programs back in the day to keep children, doing something positive off the streets. We no longer really have those type of programs anymore. So I don't
No.
know, how do you think that we could get back to that area where we have like more extracurricular activities for the children, because everybody don't want to play sports, everybody don't want to play
Right.
football and basketball. you know some people need
If
some
we
more
come together.
extracurricular outlets, but a lot of our parents, we just push sports on our kids as like the only thing to do in their free time. And nothing
Daughter,
wrong with
if we
sports. Don't get me wrong. If you got a talented athlete,
right,
you know what I mean.
if we come together, if we come together and put our resources together, that's the only way that we can make a difference.
Hmm.
Without that, we will continue to just do our little segments here and
Hmm.
there. But we got to come together, and we got to come together not looking for credit. We got to come together with a spirit of humility, a
Hmm.
spirit of conforming, together to better our community. And it just saddens me that the violence and our kids, they expect to die early and they expect to go to jail. That
Yeah, I
that that that,
remember.
that that's some
Who was
terrible
that?
that's a terrible expectation, daughter.
And who was that? Was it last week or the week before? Um, Somebody had asked kids they expect to die before they are of the age of 18. I was
Yes.
watching a show, and I don't want to give out the person's name. He probably won't mind though, but they were doing a show last week, and one of his relatives has typed in the chat that I think it was their son, has said they like, why should we, it seemed like we live to die. Like we
Right.
all gonna, we all are born, we're all gonna die. But his mentality was, as a young black man in this world, you just feel like you're born to die. Like literally born to
Right.
die in a negative way, by gangs, drugs, police, stuff like that. And he was really it really hurt his heart to hear that one of his own, relatives felt that way. And he was still in grade school. Like he was still a young kid. And he felt like he, don't have nothing to look forward to. So we need to change that in our communities. We need to give children something more to look forward to.
And the parents play a major role as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
Parents have to be
Yeah,
willing to open up their, don't be so prideful to say they have a son or a daughter that's in a wayward way and they need some help. They
mhm.
need some help because it definitely takes a village
It
to raise a
does.
child, and that maintains still to be true, daughter.
Hmm.
It takes everybody, and parents got to be, and you got to get them when they small. You
Hmm.
can't wait till they get older and older. You got to get them when they're small, and
Hmm.
once you see that they're falling off the tracks, or they hanging around the wrong people in school, and parents got to go check on your kids. Go send,
There you go.
you may have to work. Send your grandmother, send your uncle, call somebody from the church. I tell Great New York, put me on the list. I'll go up there and see. That's why they got that little square. I go up there and see what they
Hmm.
doing in the classroom.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
See, and you got to get them when they small. And parents have to open up about, hey, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with whoever it is. I need some help.
Yeah, you
But at
have
the
to get
same
them when
time,
they go. Hmm.
daughter, people would open up more if they had trustworthy people that will hold what they come to them in
With
confidentiality.
confidence. Yes.
See, that's another problem that the church has messed up. I don't need to hear it in the wind at the church that I had to call pastor and he came over to help my home.
Hmm.
See, when you do that, it makes people feel embarrassed, and it makes people not trust anybody. And that is what has happened to us as the church. We have lost that trust from the neighborhood. We lost
Right.
that trust, and we have to gain it back.
Right. You are absolutely right. Church members, they have to feel protected sometimes. Not like in the way of like children, you know what I mean? But they have to feel like protected, like what they bring to their pastor, because a lot of people look up to their pastor. like some people think their pastors like the next thing to God. If I can't get to God, I know I can go through my pastor. He can help me get a prayer through. You know what I mean? But they have to feel
Right.
like what they're saying to you. Because we hear it in a joke. Like we grew up hearing jokes about that. Oh, sister, we heard sister. It's like, okay, the telephone game, like, oh yeah, I heard that such and such
Right.
had such and such had, and it goes around the church and around the church, and next thing you know, somebody knows everybody business about somebody else. So people do have to feel like what they have to bring to their pastor, somebody that they're confiding in, their innermost, uh, might be their innermost fears, their innermost
Right.
concerns. They have to feel protected, and they won't come to you because it's like a friend. A lot of people, I done seen people post on Facebook. I don't know how many times, I have nobody to talk to, and
Right.
nobody there for
Right.
me, no friends, no family. It's not that we don't have nobody to talk to. We all got people to talk to, but who can you really
But trust.
trust? With
Thank you.
with
Who
your
can
yeah.
you trust to keep it confident? That's right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
right. And so many people uh uh don't rock with the church now because they've been hurt. But at the same time, you can't ump all church. I always hear all the time, oh man, churches ain't doing nothing. And that's not true. That's not true. That's not for every church. Because I know,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm big on outreach. With a budget, we have 10 to 15% of our budget, which is 10 to 15,000 a year, we use for outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Over 250 backpacks we give out, with not only with backpacks, but with pens, paper, ink, highlighters. We
Mm-hmm.
talking about college book bags and all that. We give out 50 turkeys, boxes, everything. This year for Christmas, we giving out scarves, hats, gloves, blankets, our outreach, and just for our little corner of hope. What we do, if everybody can bring their resources together, could you imagine what we can do in our community? Could you imagine?
Mm-hmm. I can
And
only
people
imagine.
need, people need to see, in order for people to regain trust back in the church, they have to see us out visible in the community.
They have to
Yes,
see
we
our
open
work.
on Sunday morning. Every church is open on Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Your 2 hours. What good is that?
Right.
And I make no
Because
bones. My vision, daughter, is to have our church open 24 hours a day.
mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to change that whole corner to the corner hope. 24 hours a day where you can find anything. You need diapers for your baby.
Like a
You can't
crisis center
afford to
kind
go.
of.
Yes, yeah, that is my vision. I'm gonna die trying to get that. And
Okay.
you ain't
I
got to be
feel
a
it.
member of Great New Hope. You just come in there with a need. Jesus wants us to meet people's needs. And that is my vision through outreach. I don't care who I partner with. I don't care. But we got to do some things. And then, just maybe then, we can make a difference when people start regain trust back in the church, daughter. When they can regain trust back in the church, then we can curtail this violence that have, because in order to have violence, it's got to be a cause. I don't
Right.
want anybody to just go and say, well, I'm gonna kill. It had to be a problem. That's why the Bible says, "Blessed are the peacemakers." It had to be a problem, a conflict, or something that needs
Mm-hmm.
somebody with a level head to step in, and maybe, just maybe, somebody from the church could step in and help resolve that conflict.
Yes, I absolutely. And new pastor or pastor Mary, she said, "Amen. Thank you, Lord, for the vision." And I believe in your vision, and I know that with us working together as a church, I know that we can get that formulated in no time. So all we have to do is see it to
We're gonna
believe it
get it.
and have
That's
faith.
right.
Yep. Yep. And let's see. Tracy, yes, Tracy, yes. I remember when we knocked on doors with the deacons. Yep, I remember doing that when I was a little girl with my mom. I be holding on to her little coattail.
That's where it's at.
And Paris said,
That,
I would love to be able
that's
to
where
cross
it's at.
denominations. Yes, Paris. Thank you, Paris. Didn't we
We
say
there.
something like that last?
We there. Let's do.
It's like, oh, it's just
We,
Mary. I'm sorry, I called you pastor. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of another pastor named Mary. But I'm sorry, Mary. But yes, it's like we got these different dominations.
Paris is done.
We're acting like we're not serving the same God, and then people are treating each
Thank
other
God.
like we're not all his people. We're not all brothers and sisters trying to get to the same place. So why can't we work together?
Come on. People need help. People are hurting. They don't care where it comes from. People are hurting. People are hurting. You can't tell me about Jesus and I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm physically hungry in my stomach.
Yes.
I'm not gonna listen to you. Feed me, then I'll give you an ear. But I ain't gonna give you an ear and I'm sitting here growling on family. I got people to feed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. People are hurt everywhere, and it's a lot going on. I was just looking at the news earlier today, and you saw we had another school shooting.
Yeah. In Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I was like, I'm so tired of these school shootings. I mean, Thanksgiving Day. We was live. What's today's Tuesday? We was live last night. And we was talking about all the mothers who were murdered by their own sons on Thanksgiving Day last week.
Huh?
Yeah, from Georgia, on up. It was one in Tennessee, I believe, Georgia, and where was the other one? Was it in Texas? I think the third one was in Dallas, Texas. But they all three of them were sons who had killed their mothers. One of them was stabbed. I think the other two were shot. And it was on Thanksgiving Day. And I'm just thinking, like, I can't imagine slaving over food for my family for 2-3 days. And then come Thanksgiving morning, I'm being murdered by my own child. And then we hear about the school shooting, another school shooting today as well. So it's so much going on right now. It's ridiculous. It's just heartbreaking.
While we are in the church praying, Satan is outside having a muck.
Mm-hmm.
Because prayer without works is dead. We can pray all we want, but until we put some action behind that, and get in this community and show them that we're present and that we are here to help. That's when we will make a difference.
Exactly. But we need to get these children like you young. Well, I mean, we hear it all the time. You got to get your children when you're young. You got to get your children when you're young. I got my children when they were young, but we can't wait till these children are teenagers till they seeing you right here. Because if you don't get them when you're young and they seeing you right here, they think you equal. They think you equal. When they get for their britches, think they stuff don't stink. They think you equal instead of mama and daddy.
I will say it until I'm in my grave that parents have did their children a disservice by not bringing them to church and giving them that foundation. They are doing a disservice to their children by not bringing them to church. I mean, statistics show you can go. That does not mean that people that was raised up in church that they're not going to sway, that they're not going to get in trouble. But one thing about it, once that stability and foundation is instilled in them, they know how to get home. Like the prodigal son, he said he came to his senses and said, "I know how to get home." And that's and I think that's one of the worst things we did by giving our children a choice and not making them go to church. I believe we have done disservice with them. We have cut them off at their knees, and we have done even when I tell people, see people can't stay with me because you going to church.
Everybody, I was just about to say that. That's
you
how
going to church.
Was growing up. Everybody in the house, they didn't care if you was 18, 25, 15, 2.
You going to church.
Everybody's going to church. At least on Sundays. You at least have to go on Sundays.
You going in this house, 4218 Florence Boulevard. You going to church. You going to church.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Joshua said that for me and my house, we gonna serve. I'm not gonna let you make me miss my blessings.
Yes, we will serve the Lord. Well, you know what?
And
I remember growing up, and I know a lot of children feel this way. It's like, okay, when I was growing up, I like going to church. I really did like going to church. I like going to church. I ain't gonna lie, my favorite times was choir rehearsal because I used to love to sing, and I know come Sunday we gonna rock the house down at the church. But there was times where I'm like, oh my God, Mom, these revivals last 3 months, 2 months, 3 weeks, and we got to be there every single night, even on school nights. But when I got older, and I left church for a while, for a couple of years. It just, when I had my first son, who's 24 now, it didn't even feel right. Like from the time he was literally born, I had him on that bench in church. It didn't feel right. And then when the second one came, I got 2 boys. When the second one came, it was the same thing. It's like, I just feel like they have to be there. And I have friends who had kids, and some of them would come to church and they would leave their kids home, and I ain't gonna say nothing, I ain't judging, but I can definitely tell the difference through them going to school, them attending school, them being bad and disrespectful. I ain't gonna say no names, but I ain't trying to brag, but I can put my hand on the Bible that I have friends and family who have asked me time and time again when their kids was younger, please, could you come get my kids? Please, could you, please? I didn't have people calling out of town, call Tanya, call your cousin Kanye, her boys are good, and I'm not saying they saints, because they ain't. They ain't saints. They done stuff, got punished and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But for the most part, like, I raised them in church. And church does not mean that they're not going to sin, that they're not going to go out there and commit a crime, that they're not going to back talk every now and then. But the thing about raising kids in church is, it's, how when you grow up and you out there doing stuff you shouldn't be doing, and it's like this little on your shoulder that's a lot stronger than your mama. Like, you do be like, dang, if mama knew I was having that. But then it's like, God.
Right.
Like, oh my God. And like, you automatically ask for forgiveness, break down. It's like this super conscious feeling that you feel.
That's the Holy Spirit.
You're doing something wrong. And it hits different. It hits different when you're out there doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. When your homie saying let's do this, when your homie saying let's do that, it just hits different because you have that foundation.
And it speaks to you. And not only does it speak to you, but it also be like, okay, if I do this and get caught, I got consequences that I'm going to have to face. And you don't appreciate it when you're a kid because you're like, oh man, it hurts again. But when you get older, you like, I tell my mom all the time. I said, I'm gonna tell my dad when I get there. I said, the best thing y'all could have ever did was introduce us to Jesus Christ. That was so glad.
And I like what sociologist Sandy. Hey, sociologist Sandy. She said when kids don't grow up in church, they grow up not knowing how to fight spiritually.
You talking about somebody that can sing. Sociologist Sandy, oh Lord have mercy. Oh Lord. Yes.
Oh, I had her on my show a few times. She was with us on our show a few times. But yeah, she has a great YouTube channel. She is a YouTuber, so if anybody wants to check her out, her channel, go to her channel.
She is, bless her. Her whole family is so lovable. They are so lovable. Yes. But yeah, we got to get back to that foundation of bringing our kids to church. I'm telling you, When you don't have that, I'm telling you, when you don't have that, you can just see, you
The
can see the
difference.
carnage. Yeah,
Mhm,
you see the carnage that is left
mhm.
in wake because you don't bring them up and raise them up in the knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I
Yeah,
tell people that all the time.
and
I'd rather have. I tell
it does make it a lot. It does make it a lot easier as far as discipline. Like the first Bible verse I remember, besides, so God, created the normal Bible verses that you learn repeatedly,
them
you
right,
get in front of the church and you do
right,
your speeches.
right.
But that one, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right
That's right.
for your days. When I tell you that Bible verse was in my head so much growing up, I'm like, Lord have mercy. I don't wanna die because I'm disobeying my parents.
That's right.
But that's a verse
That's
that you
right.
might not even know if you ain't raised in church. You wouldn't even know that.
No, no, no. And I tell people that, and that's why our violence. I mean, if you look at, I tell it all the time. I mean, just look at the carnage. Just look at this. Okay, you got a young man. He killed somebody. Okay, so that the person that's deceased, that's a whole family that's going through tragedy themselves. The
Mhm.
person that gets arrested, maybe a father or of a child. You got all that carnage, and we do, because I don't charge for anything at our church for
Mhm.
funerals or anything like that, because I believe you can't charge for nothing you don't own. I'm just the steward of what God has given me. But
Amen.
we have done so many that had suffered death because of violence. And I just will never forget about, probably about a year ago, and this young girl had died, and her daddy would take her to school, and he was good dad, good dad, and all that. And all she did was just cry the whole time. What am I going to do without my dad?
Mhm.
And this violence, and then that has to stay with the church, and the church has to wake up and be back into the community and the neighborhoods like we used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, like we used to be. And so just sitting here seeing all this violence, if it does not bother you, you're not human.
That's true. And if nothing else works, like we've been saying, we've been including it in almost every segment. Why not church? If nothing else is working in your family, in your relationship, at your
Come
job,
on.
with your children, your finances, why not church? Find
Why
you,
not?
find you a good church. Find you a good church. Even if your friends are not going to church, if your family members not going to church. I remember growing up, and for the most part, our home, we went to church like all the time. I would have
Same
like
here.
certain family members that didn't go, but don't look at everybody else, because some people don't believe in church. Some people don't like church, and they'll try to sway you. What you going to church for? All they want to do is take your money. They want to do this. They want to do that. So again, like I said before, time and time again, when you out there looking for churches, take your time. Be vigilant. Visit
Come
some
on.
churches. Don't
Pray.
just hop
That's
up in
right.
the church.
Investigate it.
Investigate.
Investigate it.
Ask a
Investigate
friend
it.
about it. Ask your friends, about their
Investigate it.
churches. Yep, ask your friends, because I hopped and hopped and hopped once I got grown and my children got older. I was looking for somebody stable because the church that I went to long time ago, that wasn't available. And I just hopped and hopped. I would go to churches. I'll spend a few weeks. If I wasn't feeling it, I would move on. But it's kind of like anything else, a relationship or a job. If it doesn't work out, just don't sit there and be getting fed something you that's not fulfilling you.
That's
Just
right.
keep
And,
looking,
and
keep
don't
looking.
and don't take see. And like I said at our beginning episodes, so many people have bad mouth the church, and we give them good reason. Let me make that plain, because all you see is scandals, and all you see is the pastor that ran away with the money and the women.
What are
You see
women?
that. or the women, but it's not all. It's not all. It's not all pastors. It's not all churches. It's not all the members. And you need to go and investigate and have an open mind and an open heart and pray. And God will send you to where He wants you to blossom at. He will send you. And I tell people all the time, it don't have to be Greater New Hope. Great New Hope don't fit everybody. Go where God has ordered your steps to go. Go, I ain't mad. I ain't mad. Hey, Pastor Rollerson, you don't fit what I need. Hey, that's all right. I ain't for everybody. Right. I ain't for everybody. But I know a lot of great pastors and a lot of great churches. I'll introduce you to. That's like water. It come off me like a duck. Just be somewhere working.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Somewhere working. Right. Be vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you will eventually find your place. Just listen to God, pray about it, meditate on it, and because it's really important. It's really important to be under the right teaching. It's really important. You just can't be in any flock. You really can't, because you won't grow. You won't learn anything. Some places they want to sugarcoat stuff. They want to pacify stuff. And that's usually because something's going on there that shouldn't be going on. But they don't want to lose their sheeps. Did I say sheep with an S? They sheep.
And when you get in there, when you get into a local assembly, latch on and start working. If you don't work, you will soon stop going.
Do something in the church.
Yeah. It will make you accountable. It'll make you responsible. Do something. Find you a ministry and latch on to that ministry.
Yes, whether it's the usher board, whether it's the children's church. Like a lot of people are really good with kids, and we have those kids. They be in the pews. They don't want to really sit there for no 2-3 hours. They want to go in the back and they want to have their little children's church and everything. So if you're good with children, go back there with the children's church and help out with activities and programs and plays and things like that. Join the choir. Volunteer to drive the church van. There's
all kind of things.
Cook on the holidays. Make cakes. Take food to the sick and shut in.
Teach a class. Teach you a cooking class. Teach anything.
A baking class.
Anything. The harvest is plentiful, but the labors of
few. Amen.
Embrace the Lord to send workers.
And there's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And He will. And we got to get our kids back to having that foundation. Mm-hmm. And that will curb a lot of the violence that's in our communities. Now here, I was driving the other day. I thought about this. I said, as parents, we will make our kids go to school.
Yes.
Get smart, get an education. When they sick, we'll take them to the doctor.
Right.
When they get in trouble, we'll get them an attorney. We'll take them to see a judge. We do all these other things for our kids, but don't want to bring them to church for their eternal salvation, their eternal security. Don't want to, and all that comes along with that. We will do everything for our kids, but when it comes to bringing them to the house of the Lord, we want to make sure they right in everything. If they in sports, we take them to the game. We take them to practice. We'll do all that, but won't take them to the house of the Lord. I told the daughter, I said, we give the world 23.5 hours of the day and complain about giving God 30 minutes of His time.
You are right. You are so right.
And then we wonder why we got so much violence in our homes, in our streets, in the neighborhood, in the communities, in the schools. We wonder why. You don't have to look back. We have lost our first love, and that is God. We have.
Yes, we lost it a long time ago. And that was just something that was just like, I don't know, having collard greens and cornbread. It was just so natural. It was just so natural when we was growing up. It wasn't nothing to think about or consider. Or, I mean, just like your kids got up and go to school every morning, you go in there, you yell at them, you snatch the covers off. It was just so natural. After the weekend is over, church on Sunday. So again, that's all we're saying. It's like if nothing else works for you and you're not in church
Right.
and
Right.
you just need something more. You're looking for something, you don't know where it is, you don't know what it is. Why not church? Why not church? So, and our church doors are
Man.
always open. And Pastor always says it all the time. Our church might not be the one for you. We're not telling you
Yep.
come to our church. You can
Nope.
if you like, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of
Hey,
great churches out there, especially in our community. We have a lot of great churches in our
we got
community.
too many churches for the violence that we have just in Omaha. Too many.
Amen.
It's way too many. Way too many.
I
Way
can
too many.
definitely
But we
agree
ain't
with that.
doing nothing. We
Yeah.
ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing that. What I'm saying, we ain't doing nothing. We could be doing a lot and a lot and a lot more.
Well,
And
I'm
it's just
sure a lot
simple
of
if we just
people.
put them together.
Yep, and I'm sure a lot of people would want to be volunteers, would want to be in on any projects, any planning,
Come on.
anything that we can come up with. I mean, I'm just a little old peon, but I mean, if somebody
That's
could get
fine.
something started, whether it's you, pastor, whether it's something else, if somebody can get started where we could have these meetings with different churches in the community come together and find a solution for all the
That's
issues that
right.
we're having in our communities.
That's right.
I would love that. Put our heads together. We need to put our heads
Yeah, because
together.
we can, because daughter, we could come, we could talk about it all we want, and you're absolutely right. But we got to come with some solutions,
Some
some
solution.
sustained solutions.
Yep.
Not just because it's heavy on our hearts now, but it got to stay heavy on our hearts constantly.
Right. And after we talk about it, and after we discuss it, and no shade on nobody, because I done it too. I done it too. Oh, we
Implement it.
need to do this. Oh, we need to do that. But until we actually implement a plan and put our feet to the ground and our heads together and come up with a plan, it's just all talk. It's really just an idea. Just a
Yeah,
thought.
and daughter, I tell you, about me. Pleasant Green had and I happened to hear about it um on one of their stream live. They had the bus company, the school bus company,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
they was that
yeah.
yeah yeah they was offering free food and
Mhm.
jobs.
Yep, and jobs.
I
Yep.
went down there. It was raining. I went down right there on 30th and Bedford, right there, that
Hmm.
empty lot right there. I went out there in the rain, grabbed me a billboard, and was right out there with them.
Hmm.
Because that's what it's about. It's not about my name, your name, who gets the credit. Long as God gets the credit, that's all. But we got to do something different. The way
Yeah.
we conducting ourselves now is not getting it. It's not getting it.
It's not. It's not. And I am looking forward to Tracy said, "You are so right. I gotta do better. We all gotta do better because it's not one person's problem.
No,
It's not one mother's problem. It's not one
we
father's
got
problem. It's a community problem that we are continually having with these youth and the violence in our city. And like Pastor said, we got too many churches, too many great people in
too
our
many.
community to not be able to put some things together. It should always be something. And one thing I have to say is my friend Sherman, I love what he did this summer down at the basketball court off of Lake Street. What's the name of the basketball court? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Uh the one over there off of Lake Street. The
I
basketball
know what
court
you're talking
down
about.
there. You
I
know what I'm
can't
talking
think of
about.
the name, but
I
I know
just
what you're
can't
talking
think of
about.
it off the top of my head. But you know what I'm talking about. Everybody in Omaha know that basketball court down there. But they did so much this summer with the youth and kids. They had all kind of activities, painting. They had a concert. My little cousin,
Wow,
she's
I
a
didn't
little
know.
rapper. My little cousin, she's a rapper. She performed down there this summer. But we need things like that, and I appreciate for him for doing that. And maybe that's one person that we could hook up with.
Yes,
But there's
yes.
there's a lot of organizations here, but I think we all need to help each other and work together, and we'll get more done. In the long run, I really do. I
Right. We,
really do.
we, we can't, and we need to come together, put our resources together. We
Right.
do. We need to come together, and if we come together, we can make an impact. And if we could
Yes.
just save one person from dying, that's better than that person dying.
One person, and you know how it goes. Pay it forward. What that we might say
That's
that one person might save another person. That person might save another person. So you never know the people who you reach. You never know how it might affect them. You know,
that's
you see
right.
it all the time. People look back and say, if it wasn't for this person doing this in my life, I wouldn't have done that in my life.
Right.
So yeah, you
Right.
never know where that person might go, who they might reach as well.
And
Yeah.
and we love to hear, and they can post on here, or they can post on holla at your boy. Let
Mhm.
us know when your kids is getting honored and doing great. One of our members, they don't go to church anymore, but when they did, when they was coming to the church, we took the whole football team. I mean, we took the whole church down to Lincoln, and it was like
Mhm.
almost 18 below. It was so cold out there. All of us bundled up. But we went to support when Burke High School won the championship. And
Mhm.
that's what we
Mhm.
ought to do. We got to show them that we care.
Yes,
We, we,
yes,
we got to show our
absolutely.
kids that we care.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that because that's one thing I remember when my kids played sports. Um, was going to the games and seeing kids every week, they parents not at the game. Some of them, they had to work, but there was those parents who they was sitting at home. You pick the kid needs a ride to school. He needs a ride to the game. He needs a ride to practice. They sitting at home with cars all in their driveway, not interested in the kids' extracurricular activities. And come game time, they don't have no family in the stands. So I
N-
remember
n-
that. I remember learning and making sure I knew every kid's name, whether they were on our team or opposing team, and making sure to cheer for them kids that didn't have nobody there. So I'm
and just
glad
think,
that you
just
mentioned that.
Doc, I'm glad you mentioned that. Just think about our mentality. We'll
Hmm.
show up for court, but won't show up to the basketball court.
Mhm, mhm.
We'll show up when
Or
they're
the
about to
football
lock them
game.
up. Yeah, when they're about to lock them up. Yeah, we'll show
You
up.
know,
We'll show up,
no,
talk to the judge.
for real. Do you know how many parents I done heard say it's too cold to come to my child's football game? And I'm like, you know what? My kids play sports all their life: track, wrestling, football, basketball, you name it. And I remember freezing like 2, 3 covers, and I would think, if they can be out there on that field, standing
Come
there
on.
on the sideline with no coat on, no scarf, just they out they uniform, I can sit in the stands and cheer for them with my big old coat and my cover and my hot cocoa. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it bothered me sometimes when I heard parents make up an excuse why they can't support their kids'
Your
activities.
kid, your kid, our babies need a representative. They want to be able to look into the stands and wave, whether it's the mom or dad or cousin, uncle, sister or brother, a pastor, a deacon, a usher, or mother. They need
Mhm.
to be able to look and be like, hey, I'm telling you, we'll show up to court, but won't show up to the basketball court for our kids. Huh?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, absolutely. So yes, we're gonna put our heads together, and anybody who's interested, a lot of you guys who are watching, you know how to contact Pastor Rose.
Yes,
You
let's
know where our
get it.
church is, on the corner of Hope, 30th and Hamilton. If you want to get your phone number out, Pastor always he don't mind giving his phone number out just in case somebody needs
Always
prayer.
holler at your boy.
If you got
402 208 1269.
yes,
Ain't
one two
never
six
busy.
nine. Yes.
402 208 1269.
Yes, and matter of fact, I'm gonna put your link in the chat because you got your own YouTube channel, and a lot of people don't know yet. A lot of people don't know
Yeah,
yet, so we're gonna have to make sure we getting people over to your channel so they can subscribe
yeah.
to your YouTube channel.
Dog, I got people following me, but I don't know
Mhm.
what they follow. I got people on my Instagram.
It's okay. It's
They,
okay. I'm about to
they
drop your.
following your boy, and I don't know what they following your boy doing. I don't know.
You know what? Let me grab your link real quick. Let me see. That's why I put it in our inbox
And
on
I'm gonna
Facebook.
start. I'm gonna start doing a Thursday show. You know, I'm
Okay,
gonna have you on there every third. Clear out your calendar.
that's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. The first is reconciliation. We're gonna talk about reconciling the differences, not just in the church, but also in the families, in the house. So we got too
Absolutely.
many families that are split apart. Too
Mm-hmm.
many, too many over. It don't matter. Life
Mm-hmm.
is too short. Life
Yes,
is
it
too
is.
short, man. Oh my God.
Yes,
We need
that's
to
a great
reconcile
topic.
those differences.
Great topic. That's a great topic. And you know,
We
for our next Tuesday from the Pulpit show, I know we always discuss a range of things, but one thing I want to add to our next Tuesday show is holiday depression.
oh yeah,
Holiday depression. I
yes.
want to hit on that
It's
next
real.
Tuesday. It's going to be
It's
another week
real.
closer to Christmas, and it's a lot of people. I don't know how many people you've had lost this past year, but just within the last few months, it's one of my friends lost their mom the other day, and she made a Facebook post, and
Mm.
she's just taking it really bad, which is expected when you lose a parent. And she was just like, anything people can do, if you can help cook, if you can help me clean around the house, if you can do anything, help us plan the funeral, help us set up the funeral, help us, whatever. It's like when people lose people, and especially when it's around the holidays, they can be very broken, very broken. So yeah, I want to
And
hit on that.
and I'm glad you did that. We'll do that on that because I have all kind. I did a two 8-month course on grief stricken. I
Mhm.
still got all my notes and everything. I
Awesome,
did an eight
awesome. That's gonna work out.
on how don't be isolated. Find people that are
Yes,
grieving, such as yourself. Find people that have already gone with you going through. Find people that are struggling. Find people that have turned their rage into a positive from
right.
the depth. Oh yes, yes.
Mhm,
On
mhm.
how how after you grieve, you never stop grieving, but eventually you have to turn to the fact that they're not coming back,
Right.
but you can still ride on their legacy that they left.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
got you.
Okay, we got it. We got it. Well,
I
everybody, I
got
want
you.
to thank you all for tuning in this week. I think we had a wonderful show, and I love the interaction in the chat with everybody who's
Always.
watching, your comments, your opinions. We really do appreciate you guys, y'all. And I did put my pastor's YouTube channel link. It's called Holla at Your Boy. He's on YouTube. He's on IG, and we're also going to get him set up with his own Facebook Holla at Your Boy page. So, to click the link in the chat, subscribe to his channel. And if you are in Omaha,
Subscribe to it.
Nebraska, and you ever want to visit our church, we are at the corner of Hope, right on the corner of 30th and Hamilton. Is a big white church. You cannot miss it. Every Sunday, come through, slide through 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30. We have Bible study. We have Sunday school. I'm sorry. Then we have main service church that starts at 11. And you will enjoy yourself. You will absolutely be
And,
blessed and receive a good message at the same time.
and, and we also have the live. She live stream not only on Facebook, Great New Hope, but also on the Hood table. We
On Facebook.
the hood goes to church on Sundays. The
Yes.
hood goes to church
Yes, on Sunday. I'll be up there with my
on.
little tripod and I'll be recording us live from church on the hood table. And a
Yes.
lot of people tune in and they like the show because a lot of people still are at home, not sick and shut in per se, but they might still just be, the COVID, they just social distancing. Everybody ain't returned to the pews, but they still
Right.
want a word from God. So, hey, that's
And
what
y'all can tune in here. Tune in here. Hey, where the real is kept real. We keep it real. I told
absolutely,
you I told people holla at me. The real is kept
absolutely.
real. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, thank you. And Pastor Rollerson, the first lady, we gonna have to get her on one of our shows. We're gonna have to get her on one of
Oh,
our
yes, we do. Oh, God. Got to. Hey, that topic about being, you know what? And we don't give them credit as we should. Being a first lady is rough because I tell her all the time, if it was the other way around, I ain't sharing my wife. She
You know
shares
what?
me unconditionally.
I would love to have her on here and just talk about her experience being a first lady. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
being a first lady. Because
Because she
I'm
shared.
telling you, I know a pastor is a hard job pastor. I know y'all have hard jobs, but being a first lady, I can't imagine. I just can't. I just can't.
They put up with a lot. They do. They do.
Yep.
My. They do.
Yep, they sure do. So maybe one day she will grace our platform and show her beautiful face, and we could chop it up with her as well.
We sure will.
But in the
Yep. And
meantime,
then
and in between time, she said, "Great show." Tracy said, "Thanks for the invite to the church." Sociologist Sandy said, "Enjoyed the show. Thank you guys."
That personality. You know, she going to come on. Hey, both they going to come on here one show. Come on and join
I
us.
love her. She has like this bubbly personality.
She does.
I really like her.
She's like some 7-Up. She's
She's very sweet. And you said she can sing?
Oh my God.
She didn't sing for us. She didn't sing.
Oh Lord. Yeah. She can sing. I've heard her live, not Memorex. I heard her live.
So just saying, I'm about to come on. I'm gonna have to have her come on here and maybe sing a gospel, a good old gospel song for us.
And tell Perry Scott, yes. I know your pastor, Elder Shannon. So Shannon, yeah, let's do that. Let's make it happen. Yes,
absolutely. First Lady said, "I'm there when you need me."
Oh yes.
Absolutely. All right.
Hey, don't forget as we come to a close, and also if anybody requests prayer,
yes,
you can put that on there and get that to Tanya, and Tanya will get it to me. And yes, we'll keep you lifted up in prayer. I personally know a couple of people that have come down with COVID. One lady asked for prayer. Her aunt is in ICU with COVID, and not just with COVID, but people are really hurting, and they need an outlet. They need everybody to pray. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. We are to pray in all times for everything.
And I very much believe in prayer. And when 2 or 3 come together, boy, it's amazing what prayer can do.
It is. And also, don't forget, let's get connected with that one guy that did the stuff down.
Oh, Sherman.
Yeah.
Yep, I will hit him up. Yep, I will hit him up.
Yep,
I sure will.
All right, love y'all.
Yep. And everybody, don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you like and share the video. And don't forget to hit that link in the chat, because that is my Pastor Rollerson's new YouTube channel. It's called Holla at Your Boy. And he's also on
Holla at Your Boy.
And he's also on
Thursday
Instagram
week.
Well. Yep.
Thursday we coming.
Thursday.
Reconciliation.
You want to do the same time? Like
7:30.
Okay.
7:30.
Okay. So make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. I got it highlighted. It's in the chat, because on Thursday we're gonna do a show on his channel. Then on Tuesdays we're gonna be on my channel. So we're gonna flip flop. And I'm gonna make sure that all my people, I'm gonna send them on over there so they can support your channel.
Now bless you and all of what you're doing. No, bless you and all. Hey, one thing that I would like to talk about real quick, these young rappers just killing each other. What is it? And then you see that, and these other rappers know how weak-minded and how influential our young kids are. When you go on these YouTube channels and all that, it's talking about you got 100,000. I seen what's talking about? He had 100,000. If he said he was just joking. If somebody had the address of what's the rapper just got killed name, now you can't be saying that stuff on there. You can't do that.
You know what?
I can't. Your camera went what?
Oh, I accidentally hit mute. There was a
Oh,
rapper. The other day I had saw something. He had admitted to shooting up his baby mama house. He admitted it on his Instagram. The girl had her house shot up, had her car shot up, and nobody knew what happened, who did it. Then he came on his Instagram and admitted it, and it went all over social media. Like, you admitting to shoot up your own baby mama house. I mean, then
that's Satan, boy.
the football player
That's Satan.
who beat up and monkey stomp and his baby mama did. I know you seen that video.
Yep.
Threw
Yep.
her into the TV and everything. I'm like,
Just violent.
it's violence, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere from the hood, the celebrities, and our own families. So yeah, we need to get
What they say, more money, more problems. I guess they can't handle.
more
Some
money,
people
more
can't.
problems.
Some people can't. Everybody can't handle success.
Mhm.
Everybody can't handle it, dog. They can't.
Well, I'm gonna tell God right now, if you wanna enriching my bank account with some millions and hundreds of thousands, I promise I do right. I promise. I promise I won't go crazy. I won't kill nobody. I won't hurt nobody. I promise.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, I had to bring that up because, man, they got all this money and y'all killing each. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, because I'm like, I mean, some people pray for success. Some people don't even want to be filthy rich. They just want to be well off, where they don't have to look at their bank account before they go to the grocery store, before they buy their kids some shoes. They know they okay because they know their bank account is good. But these people get all these millions and they just act a plum fool. And it's not like you're just acting a plum fool. You're embarrassing everybody who loves you, your family, your community, your church.
And what they forget, what they forget, daughter, is when you do dirt, you may forget about the dirt you did.
It ain't
but them people ain't forgot the dirt that you did on them.
I ain't gonna curse on your pastor. I ain't gonna curse on here. Karma. They call karma something else. I ain't gonna curse on here, but
what the Bible says
comes back.
We're gonna make it. The Bible says we reap what we sow.
What goes around comes around. You can't keep doing dirt out there in those streets.
Whatsoever a man sows, it come back. You may forget about the dirt, but they ain't forgot about what you did to their homeboy or whatever down the line. They ain't forgot.
Tell it.
You may forgot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and on that note, y'all, on that note, y'all, everybody stay blessed, be safe, remain vigilant at all times. Please like and share the video once again. Don't forget to click that link in the chat to my pastor's YouTube channel, because we're going to be there on Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
Reconciliation.
Right. Yes. Have a great night, everybody. Love you guys. Good night.
Do I just click off my stuff?
Yep, just click off the whole link. Just exit the whole screen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.